Hello once again, everyone, to Monday Grab Bag. Today we're going to be looking at the fourth entry in a series this time. We are going to be playing Creeper World 4. The Creeper World series was a series of 2D Flash games that were available on browsers and I think also maybe downloadable. I don't know, I probably should have looked more up on the history. But in any case, Creeper World 4 was the first exploration of the core concepts of the game in a actual simulated 3D space. The previous games were a 2D top-down sort of view and were a game where you are using technology and energy harvesters and space military tech in order to stave off a encroaching blue sludge known as the Creep, or the Creeper. And this stuff has consumed numerous worlds at this point. And you are the last line of defense. Several different remixes of the idea have been created by Knucklecracker, the developer, but this was their first foray into experimenting with 3D, and then after this, they have also released on Steam Creeper World IXE, which is a side-view 2D interpretation of the game that has mechanics that are similar to the falling sand genre of game, if you are familiar with those. Sort of a simulation and toy box with each individual pixel particle being a material. If you're familiar with the game Noita, that also takes core inspiration from the falling sand genre. In any case, though, Creeper World 4 is what we're going to be looking at today. And let's hop right into it, shall we? So good, we have the feed here. Get the audio back. All right. Games are made by people. Farsight Expedition. The eve of humanity's great journey. Creeper World 4. I cannot fiddle, but I can make a great state of a small city. 559 MST, 9th of Leo, 266, Dr. Danu Chase. "6 a.m. 6:35 a.m. downstairs. From Director Hale, Chief Scientist, to Dr. Saloy. Subject: Sorry, kid. So yeah, sorry about this, kid, but no launch party for you. The system cache needs purging. You'll need to head to the launch site and run a full sim today, as in right now. You know, so we can launch the single greatest scientific experiment in human history on time, tomorrow. Enjoy your sim time. The real heroes around here will be sure to enjoy the launch party. Director Hale." This part is cute. You just flap the keyboard. To Director Hale, Chief Scientist, subject: whatever. Fine, somebody has to be useful around here. Maybe I'll also inspect the Joven Drive while I'm there. You know, the thing made possible by my grandfather and the only reason we are here? You all enjoy your party while I make a difference. Dr. Saloy, Junior Scientist, Rift Lab Backup Team. 912 Rift Lab Control. Enter Lab Control and get this over with. Hold down right mouse button and drag, or use WASD. You can zoom in and out. Rotate view. Feed a reset camera. Ada log. Personality interface initiated. Hello, Dr. Saloy. I hope your day is pleasant. Director Hale has requested you perform a few additional tasks in addition to the cache purge. Director Hale would like the lights on at the launch site for today's launch party. He wants the visiting dignitaries to clearly see the launch site. He has instructed you to construct a tower to connect the Rift Lab to the launch site. This will power the lights. You may close my interface and proceed. I'll provide additional information as the need arises. Select tower from the build menu on the left and construct it where indicated. Or press 1. Activate experimental Soylent fields on towers. System override required. Action not recommended. Yep, override it. That'll show Hale. Confirm override. Notice Director Hale will be informed of this action. Absolutely. The Soylent fields are now activating, Dr. Saloy. These were not scheduled to be activated until tonight's launch party. They were not supposed to be part of the exhibition. The Soylent fields are operating within normal parameters. Each field is producing energy that is being fed across the network to the Rift Lab. The energy status in the top left of the interface reflects increased energy production. Your assigned tasks are now complete. Director Hale has requested you remain here during the launch party. Orbital sensors have detected incoming high-velocity objects, possible meteors with likely ground strikes. Condition 2 protocols. Orbital sensors confirm incoming meteor strikes. Protocol 2 initiated. Base on lockdown. The Rift Lab is now decoupled from the base. All lab bulkheads are closed. Please brace for impact, Dr. Saloy. Message from Director Hale. Danu, we don't know what caused those impacts. They weren't normal meteors. They have released something that's spraying across the terrain. I've released the control systems for the lab. Move it to the launch site now. None of the crew are there. You have to do this alone. We can't get to you and that stuff is advancing on the whole base. Okay, doing it. Select Rift Lab. Fly it to the center. And watch as everyone else dies. The unknown material is approaching the Rift Lab. I recommend relocating mining cannons around the launch site. They may delay the progress of the material. Scoot up 2x speed. So as you can see, we can move the turrets around. Danu, you have to get out of here. You have to save the lab and yourself. This stuff is destroying everything. There's no time. I've sent the command to Ada to initiate the launch sequence. Jump to Farsight. No, sir. Dr. Saloy, Danu, you can do this. Take the lab through Rift space. Be the first to ever traverse the galactic void. You need to know that your grandfather... Dr. Hale? No, I can't. I'm sorry, Dr. Saloy, but communications with Director Hale have been lost. Life support has failed across the base, and the unknown material is continuing its advance. The launch sequence needs some time to initialize. The final calculations for a jump to Farsight have not yet completed. An approximate solution is currently in place. Use mining cannons to keep the unknown material away from the Rift Lab until initiation is complete. Initiate jump to Farsight. Moments later, a message never received. Danu, come in. We've taken shelter in the underground cavern. Danu. System fault. Repair or error to Farsight dev team. Ada offline. Ada offline. Engines offline. Carrier signal undetected. Nano lathe is partial. ST positioning error. Ship's broken. Where the heck am I? This isn't Farsight. This looks interesting. Maybe build towers and connect to it? So, you can see these little squares that appear as we put down these towers, and that is essentially square footage of territory that we've occupied. And for every square foot of territory that we have, we gain power more rapidly. That's how the Soylent Fields work. Executable modules found. 1 of 42 valid checksums. 41 of 42 corrupt or missing. Install and execute 1. Do I have a choice? Everything is already botched. Praise be the founders. Ceremonial archive active. 702 yarns have passed since last. Sing praises to the founders, all who hear. You've got to be kidding. We sing praise to founders in tongue of ancient. Let all hear our words of praise. Praise be the founders. Lost in space with the cult virus and surrounded by unknown liquid of death. Nice. Holy system found. Canon enabled where none was before. No, not entirely useless. Cannons worked against that liquid back on Mars. And so now, by spending our power resources, we can build cannons where we choose. Mother not found. Mother must. Founders with mother not. Require mother. Quest must you find great mother. So this is how I die, talking to a virus about mother. Don't say anything. Quest must you find great mother. Okay, time to get serious. I'm getting that. I'm getting that other artifact thing to the east. Maybe it's the antivirus. Great Mother Quest Assist. Creeper graph added to system. Annoying but useful. Reminds me of Director Hale. Creeper. Interesting. So we have a chart of the total amount of creeper, the delta value of the creeper that currently exists, and percentage of total planet coverage. Or rather, level coverage, whatever you want to call it. So what the delta is that is the value, the relative sort of value of the creeper as it. If the delta is at 0, you are killing the creeper at the exact same rate that the creeper is being born. If the delta value is negative, you're killing more creeper than is coming into existence, aka making progress. If the delta value is positive, the creeper is growing at a rate faster than you can destroy it. I do like how you can watch the packets flow. Orange packets are ammunition to be supplied to the mining lasers, and white packets are build progress for constructing things. So you remember that Factorio strategy of turret creep? That's pretty much what we're going to be doing here. Spacebar to cancel. Keep forgetting that. Chill bit of strategy. Yeah, kinda. This is... I'm going to admit something with y'all. Real-time strategies are not my cup of tea. Basically ever. But there's a level of nice simplicity to this one that I actively enjoy. That said, of course, it's going to get a lot more complicated as time goes on, but... I also love the implicit idea that's provided here that all buildings have ghosts. If you lose a building to the creep, a white ghost of it will float up into the sky. And I find that incredibly charming. The ghost of my power pole. Right, that's not the way I should be doing this. Build over there, and then creep with the existing ones that are intact. Oh, sheesh. So you can see right there, there's a little bit of a crack in the ground, and that is a creeper source. Creep will actively come from that spot, so we need to keep it under control by having attacks directly fired upon it. I should really just be building more cannons instead of trying to reposition them in any way. It's an early level. We can get away with the strategy of just throw more guns at the problem. Yeah, who would have thought I liked the slime game? Also, the number that appears above a power tower tells you how many... the square footage of Soylent you're achieving with it. Muther, ADA. 4 out of 4 valid checksums. More compatible software on an alien world. Wonder what group beat is here. Install and run. Hello, Dr. Soloy. I am pleased to see you again. I have detected an out-of-date system database. The database will be upgraded over time. I am unable to detect a rift carrier signal or establish our exact location. Solar spectral analysis not consistent with the Earth or Farsight systems. Protocol 3 initiated. In the event of loss of communication while not in the Earth system, return to Mars Launch Station. Engine error. Jump drive error. Attempting to engine restart. Engine restart success. Jump drive restart incomplete. I am unable to initiate the jump back to Mars. Coordinates cannot be established without a rift carrier signal. Mother needs rift. Assist. Signal for totems sent. Reveal they are now. Liftic to totems activate. Yeah, I'm sure if I'll do this, I'll get back to Mars. Liftic to totems. There are 2 totems now that exist, and there is a box full of Liftic, 999 of it. check out that delta. So as you can see, the delta is at -9-ish, hovering around there. And that means that we're destroying it faster than it's appearing, which means that we are making progress against the tide as a whole. The mining cannons are good at dealing with small amounts of creeper by firing quickly and specifically at whatever's closest. But we will eventually get access to other weapons that are more suited for different purposes. The stick is moving, and as you can see, the totem is rising up.
I don't wanna let go.
Thank you, Assassin Arapido, for following.
Hey, Assassino. Happy to have you here. Assassino is a fellow slime and a friend. I can see that the Liftic is moving over to the other one now, too. Rift signal detected. Attempting jump drive restart. Jump drive restart complete. The jump drive has been reinitialized, Dr. Saloy. The jump resolver has confirmed a target at the coordinates for the Mars launch site. You may initiate the jump when ready. Mother Rift jump. Rejoice, as was written, so quest begin. Praise be the founders. Quest indeed. Here goes nothing. Yeah, we could complete the mission. Or we could keep dorking around over here. Pyramid's got a Liftic symbol on it, so yeah, let's try going to it. It is producing white sludge. And the white sludge is drowning the creeper, while also not harming any of our stuff. That is a sneak preview Easter egg view of Anti-Creeper. Alright. Next level is home. We made it. Location verification for Mars. Terrain analysis inconsistent. EM spectrum inconsistent. Isotopic analysis partial. Oligon density match. Conclusion. Not Mars. I'm sorry, Dr. Saloy. The jump was a success, but we did not arrive at Mars. Scans of the surrounding terrain show structures, but they are inconsistent with the known engineering. They are similar but not identical to structures found at the previous world. If you would like to try again, attempting jump drive restart. Jump drive restart incomplete. So, now we have a new mechanic. We can pick our spawn point. Probably want to be something vaguely high up, and also probably near that objective. Seems reasonable. This spot seems okay. Norton Anti-Creeper. Enemy of great remains. Great danger. Mortar of power must now. Nullify module corrupt error. Not Farsight, now not Mars. Creeper. A great enemy and a new mortar weapon. Should have stayed in bed. The writing in the game is a bit goofy, but it's fine. Task number 1, coverage. This does mean we're operating on a heavy deficit for the moment, though. So that's the fun thing, is I can tell you're making a reference to StarCraft, I think. But, like I said, I don't really play any of those games. Is this how pylons work in that game? This sort of... you are claiming area of the map? And so here we have mortars. They aim for the deepest reachable point in their range. And as a result, are good for nuking deep creeper. Whereas the guns are good for keeping the tide at bay. Guns shallow, mortars deep. items being built have exactly 1 health, but structures that are placed into Creeper that are already built can survive a little bit. Hierarchy Archive, common format. 1 valid checksum. Hierarchy. Hierarchy active. Creeper threat identified. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. I was expecting more Cult Virus joy, instead I got combat software. Power micromanagement. I could pause, but that's for cowards. And high score leaderboard attempters, which is actually something I do remember I used to do. Back when this game released, I would try and play levels and try and get high scores in terms of fastest victory. As has been well established, I am a speedrunner at heart. So we have the nullifier item. The nullifier must be very, very closely placed, cannot be moved, and must be very, very closely placed next to a active emitter source. So you need to successfully build it while it has 0 health, and then it needs to successfully be powered all the way to maximum with minimal health. And if you achieve that, and as long as it keeps receiving power, the emitter is nullified. Hierarchy active. Totems activated. Citation granted. Continue mission to eradicate Creeper. Mission priority, find and nullify. All other priorities suspended. Okay, sure. Let's just see if we can make it to Mars this time. You know what we're doing? Total cleanup. 0.19 creeper left, so there's a tiny puddle of it somewhere, but you know. It also, if there's a small amount somewhere, it gradually drains. Like creeper that is extremely, extremely thinly spread will die off. So wherever that little bit is, if we wait just a moment longer, Cephalon Psi. Let's see. So, pylons provide unit capacity, radius around you can construct stuff. Okay, so it's not quite the exact same sort of territory control thing, but it ultimately achieves a similar effect. Oh no, I got distracted. Don't worry, Spruceus. Yes, Cephalon Psi. Which one is that? Is that the Railjack one? Ordis is the close allied one. Okay, yeah, the Railjack one. I can, yeah. You know what? I'll do that. Combat software will now be voiced by Cephalon Psi. Slime appears? Where? Why, right here, silly. Hee 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 hee. Soylent energy generation failure. Reboot complete. Arrival at Mars complete. And systems corrupted. This looks like Mars, all right. Reaper emitters identified in system. Resource terrain located. Enabling miner technology. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. Okay, I'm calling you Sarge. What are those miners? And yeah, this looks just like Mars. Energy storage and mineable material. Miners active. Miners producing energy within range to accomplish nullification. Operator responsiveness acceptable. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. So miners also make energy. That's convenient given Ada broke my Soylent fields. Now how do I get off this island? Soylent offline. Correction module unfound. Pylon necessary. Integrate. Quest on go. I thought Sarge overwrote you. Guess I'm stuck with a preacher too. Pylons. The Mars Engineering Corp would be proud. So, as you might be able to guess from just how they look, these are electrical conduits that have a higher and faster capacity and much longer reach than the standard. This song's a bop. I remember this one. So yeah, as you can see, the mortars are now shooting at stuff that is less deep. Which is not ideal. It's still getting the work done. And besides, the turrets can't really shoot at that sort of an angle. The Soylent Fields may be offline, but we still need to power our defenses. So solid coverage of towers is still necessary. I'm quite happy to see quite a few folks in here that actually are either A, familiar with Creeper World as a whole, or B, familiar with this game in particular. Always neat to see. I may play a lot of obscure games, but that doesn't mean I'm a hipster about it, you know? It's more like, hey, this game does something really cool and it makes me happy to see. And unfortunately, it turns out a lot of those games that are fundamentally creative and offbeat for genre conventions are going to be smaller projects and thus less likely to have people know about them, you know? Sometimes there's wonderful exceptions, though. Games like Peak, where it has a pretty largely unique idea and is nonetheless wildly popular. Keep a fedora on hand. Absolutely not, how dare you. Against the Storm. Never heard of it. Thing I gotta remember that I can do is I can straight up just put turrets into the creep, and then they'll spend their preloaded ammo on shooting everything around them. Which means it's actually a pretty good tactic for claiming an area quickly. on, Nullifier. You can do it. And once you do, I can move all of those mortars. There we go. As you can see, we built up quite the ocean over here. I love the way that Deep Creep looks in this game. Massive waves of creeper is horrifying. In a beautiful kind of way. Beautiful in a horrifying kind of way. Again. More towers join Valhalla. Sure, sure. I'll adopt that into my worldview. Not only do all humanity-built structures go to heaven, the specific heaven that they go to is in fact Valhalla. Why not? Sure. I mean, they are fighting for the cause, so... Against the Storm, run-based city builder. Everybody out. And then, as with all good single-player strategy games, you are allowed to pause at any time and continue to set designations and blueprints and orders while the game is paused. Troubadour Peace Initiative, common format 8.15.69, 42 of 58 valid checksums. Install and execute 42 archives. Wouldn't have it any other way. Counselor active. Scanning for peace opportunities. Challenges identified. We are happy to render assistance. Soylent fields reactivated. Use this energy to negotiate. Go in peace, traveler. We thought the universe would be teeming with intelligence. We thought we'd learn from it, but covered in insane AI? Whatever, I'm calling you hippie. This game does have kind of a Cephalon's energy to its characters, doesn't it? Like that comparison you made, Spruce Zeus. I'm getting more and more convinced as I go on. And there we go. The fight is already won because the rest of the creep will die off to attrition. And with all pylons activated, the JPEG floats off into the sky, and we get to see our cute wire net of goodbye, friendly JPEG. Another thing that's very easy to forget in this game, and in fact I haven't even done it yet since the very start, you can move your main base, which is where all the power is stored. Ruins repurposed. Mother is away. She will return when the time requires. Praise be the founders. Anti-creeper technology identified. Mission priority, acquire. All other priorities suspended. Hey, another pyramid, and this one's got an A attached to it. In addition, we've got mineable territory. We've got more stockholds of Liftic. We've got a little bit of game design tutorializing here. Of hey, here's a really high up spot, and here's a second one right next to it. One of which has a pylon on it, the other doesn't. Hint, hint. So let's see here. 25 every half second, 300 every 10 seconds. The safest bet is probably to start inside these ruins here. Although another strategy you can do in order to get a better idea of how the map's gonna go is just pick a random spot and then say materialize and set the speed to 4 and just watch how the creep flows. And just, see. What is the last spot to be overtaken? One second here. Build with ambition. This is a truly joyous occasion, friend. Fellow travelers have been here before us. They chose to share their implements of peace. Through work, demonstrate our good intentions. We can do this. Go in peace, traveler. I want Sergeant Preacher back. Build and select a miner, my friend. Also, another cute detail. You can see the miner coverage via the red and green highlighting. See exactly which tiles are covered or not. Oh, that's one of the barriers. So yeah, we are completely safe while we're in here. Not even trees can survive against the creep. Change the miner's mode to craft blueite ore rather than energy. Totally radical, right? Breathe, friend, breathe. I've added the factory to our interface. Build the factory for peace. Your spirit is awesome. Miners making blueite and sending it to the factory. It's a regular commune of resources. And what's that at the factory? You got it, Chief. Anti-creeper, yin yang, alpha omega, balance to the force. Sarge, Preacher, Ada. There's probably a faster way to do this. The temple demands anti-creeper and creates AC automatons detected. Seize initiative and advance on enemy positions. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. Why, thank you, Sarge. The ZC robot thing should indeed make it easier to get the totems activated and get out of here. I never noticed that. They look at your mouse. That's kind of cute. Where are you going? Come on, dude. Oh. I guess that spot became deeper, and so they moved off that way. Always very funny when there's a huge amount of a liquid in a singular spot. And so you just get this massive pillar. Pew pew. Okay, I can shift click to select multiple and then say blue-white on all of them. That's a lot easier. Hope y'all are having a lovely day. I think our strategy may primarily just be send so much damn anti-creeper to those towers that we produce enough robots that we just outpace everything. Farewell, Pillar. Ascend to Valhalla. Shiny and chrome. I have witnessed you. And we can use these for generalized just doing damage. Mortar's at the edge of our territory. And actually, Mortar's out here, now that I think about it. And let's double the speed. I think I need to dedicate some of these factories to energy production. There's just something fundamentally satisfying about this game, you know? Pew, pew. I think the addition of anti-creeper really is what makes this game shine. Just a opposing counter liquid, and so you can build up and unleash a floodgate of fluid physics on your own. Delta chart looking good. like Power Wash Simulator. Yeah, I can see it. Scratches the same brain itch. Technology for anti-creeper unit found. Requires study and conference with brothers to adapt to systems. Patience while we meditate. An AC unit? That I need. Finally, air conditioning. Glorious tool. Goodbye, JPEG. Delicious jelly. Oh, the creeper. Holy moly. The flow. It's just cool to watch it produce waves. That's not what that phrase means, Conley. They helped my base. If it was the blue creeper, then they would have creamed my base if it didn't have a massive amount of energy shield around it. I'm sorry, Dr. Soleil, my system software has been experiencing faults. I have marked the areas in my system memory that may be failing. This should increase my reliability. We have arrived at a new destination that does not appear to be Mars. System protocols indicate we should recalculate and jump again to return to Mars. Okay. Lots of strange stuff in this one. Oh no, over here. Priority notification. Technology consistent with creeper manipulation identified. Operator should exercise caution. Creeper flow patterns not within normal parameters. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. All these strange worlds, and it looks like intelligence has been at work on all of them. Opportunities abound. The totems on this world require lifting. Forge does provide Greenar crystals. All that is necessary is to enable a Greenar refinery. Done. Build the Greenar refinery near a Greenar crystal to harvest them. Your factory will convert them to Liftic. Go in peace, traveler. I was hoping we'd find the raw material to make Liftic. Oh, the timer's been... Ugh. I didn't have the game paused. Goodness. It's an awful lot of places that aren't Mars. You're not wrong. Greenar refinery. Maybe two of them? I don't know. This patch will be blue-white and the other one will be energy. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, we're gonna need that anti-creeper to form quicker, please. That's cute. Secret routes. So the Greenar Mother Crystal will occasionally spit out Greenar crystals, of which these drones will go and pick up and drop into the Greenar refineries. The Greenar is then refined into Liftic. Meanwhile, the Blueite is harvested either from the Earth or given to us passively by this cube, or by this crystal. Also, that is very scary. That is a large wave. I'm gonna need those to get online real soon here. Okay, it looks like it can't actually flow over it. Good lord. The wall went down. My factory! And everything that was in it. Hey, Riverside. Good to see you too. I'm playing a game about goo and slime. Goo and slime. need to get ready to mount an offensive. We're not actually making a difference in it right now. We're merely keeping it at bay. Who hasn't tried to take over the galaxy once or twice? Know what I'm saying? Wish I could be delivering that anti-creep faster. Got a big surplus of it, but... Actually, I wonder. Wonder if this will work. And if this will also work. It did not. In any case, though, we can now do this. This is gonna get real wild in a second. Let's go. Just an ocean of red checkered lines. Everyone do a little dance and reposition. A god complex? I find it rather simple. Whoa, that's a big wave. Pep says hello. they serve, like what drinks are available. And structure Valhalla. There's absolutely some sort of amazing pun that can be found there, and I hope that someone in chat finds it. In Object Valhalla, they serve blank. Like, I can just tell if there's some amazing pun just waiting to be discovered in there somewhere. They serve asbestos. The best. I'm thinking of like an alcohol name mixed in with like a actual like structural design term. Would be the best way to do a pun like that. But what? That is $1 million question. Additional modules loaded. Journey begin just. State path and all become clear. Praise be the founders. What do we get? Something, probably. None of your towers have a chance to die if you coat the entire ground with them. Classic solution of throw more bodies at the problem. Eh. I feel like there's supposed to be something I can do with these. Because, like, the wire leads over to that wall. And so, like, I could destroy those, but it doesn't look like I actually can. Things are only getting worse, and it has been that way longer than humans have been sentient. We were never alone. I'm sorry, Dr. Saloy. The jump was a success, but we did not arrive at Mars. Scans of the surrounding terrain showed structures, but they are inconsistent with known engineering. All systems are operating within normal parameters. Protocol 99 initiated. In the event of a normal system operation but inconsistent operational results, halt and await operator input. Mother needs family whole. Praise be the founders. Ignore software anomaly. World contains imminent aerial threat. Missile defense added to operational systems. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. Oh yeah, they fly now. I like how you can see the exact moment that I get impatient with my accurate placement. An opportunity to converse. This world contains a delegate. A great opportunity granted by a great antenna. See, the others aren't as misguided as you might assume. Perhaps an open mind will help us on our journey. Yeah, I see it. It appears to track the amount of creeper covered on terrain that is reclaimed. Creeper-covered terrain that is reclaimed. The delegate requires enough of this world to be uncreepered to allow me to leave. Create a backbone network of pylons. I feel like there's a way to make it so they stay in a line when you move them, but I can't remember the actual hotkey for it. Spores are incoming. Here they come. That felt a little close. That was a little scary. There's no green art crystals, so the refinery has no purpose for us. I think. There's some sort of thingamabob in the center, so I should aim for that, I suppose. a stream in which Mood sits in complete silence and just sort of vibes as they blow up blue gelatin with a gun. I love video games. They're so good. I will not become an Asmir content creator. I will not become an Asmir content creator. And yes, that's how I pronounce it. Deal with it. Direct attack. Would it help if I did the TikTok voice? I was doing that for a second with Hippie. I'm not sure if I parsed for anyone or not. You know? Absolutely Blackheart. I would just like to say something. I love it when I say something cursed enough that you actually bother to tab over and type a direct response. So we've technically beaten the level, and we can potentially go and finish everything off by nullifying these folks. Delegate has been attacked to their own planet. Throw more bodies at the problem. Yeehaw. There we go. Get that nullifier built, and then we won by default. Greatness abounds, founders have blessed, technology for anti-creeper, sprayer decoded. Praise be the founders. Superfluous software anomaly has yielded some productive results. Delay deletion for one additional cycle. Sprayer technology should be immediately used for primary objective. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. Brothers, I do not like how this is progressing. We must not adopt the ways of those who have lost the path. Anti-Creeper's balance I concur, but to weaponize it in such a way will surely only lead to more conflict. Ugh, I don't even want to do that. We should embrace sacrifice, and perhaps that will persuade the others of our good intention. Go in peace, traveler. Weird structure. AC source. That sounds like anti-creeper source to me. This will probably be the last mission we do on the stream. Priority notification. Crimson Creeper generation detected. Crimson Creeper is hardened and resistant to known weaponry. Utilize anti-creeper and superior tactical maneuvers to dominate the Crimson. Hum. Let's go. The energy production for the moment. Just in order to cut into the deficit. Oh, Lord. Okay, sprayer. We need actual weapons. We're not producing anti-creep fast enough. We're in a heavy deficit on energy. Chronodane indicates age of 8,000 standard Earth year, more than age of greater than 8,000 standard Earth years. Plain text record follows. Kyra, the founders would be proud. I think they have identified a weakness in the Creeper. The prophecy says the Creeper will prevail, but we shall continue in other lands. I believe this discovery may be the key to unlocking these other lands. Date on the discovery is forthcoming. I hope all remains well with you and the children. I wish I could be there, but this work is critically important. I hope you understand. I'll be with you soon. Wonder if he ever made it to his family. This text, this message, the language is all very human. Ow. Part of what makes anti-creeper so interesting is that it functions like armor for territory. Trying to fill up an ocean in here of anti-creep. As you can see, the anti-creep delta is above 0 and the creep delta is below. So we're producing more anti-creep than we are losing it, and we are losing more creep than we are producing it. I clicked hide UI and saw that the entire interface disappeared, including the hide UI button, and got scared for a moment. Quite one by the fault yet, but I'm close. Get those mortars closer. And there we are. Pop. Mission cleared. So yeah, as you can see, there's this many levels in the default campaign. However, there's also the Chronum, which is a daily mission of some kind. I do not know if these are randomly generated, but I mean, look at, it's still going, so. And then there are the span experiments, which are additional, more gimmicky or difficult maps. And then there's Mark V Mission Computer, which allows you to generate your own maps. And then there is a map creator and community-made maps. So let's just look at highest rated. The Queen Returns. This is a play as creeper map. I probably should have actually read the description on how this level works. But if people are able... I remember actually playing a level that was a first-person shooter. So, like, the map editor has some really weird and fascinating things you can do with it. But yeah, I don't know where this start point is, and I probably... Auto build FPS. Press custom 1 to enter first person mode. So this one we need to bind something in the controls. Okay, that's exactly what I was going to bind it to. But seriously, how cool is this? You know? Creeper World first-person shooter, Creeper World play as enemy. Multiple weapons. Pew pew. Knee deep in the gel. It's a goo fist. It's a goo mortar. And as you can probably tell from what's going on over there, yes, you get the ability to unlock airplanes and orbital strikes and stuff like that as the game progresses. I think my gun is better than the anti-creep at the moment. And the sprayer has been upgraded a significant amount, so maybe not true anymore. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. I've forgotten how cool some of the modded levels can be. Ellie. Absolutely flood the emitter. Evil Dark Tower. If I remember correctly, the yellow netting, the blue mesh will only create creeper, but I believe the yellow mesh will duplicate any liquid that's on top of it. So if you can get anti-creeper onto it, it allows you to duplicate that instead. Here's what the map's looking like so far. Big floods, though. Large waves. I'm advancing, though. Maybe a terrible idea, but we'll see. Safe. I wonder if I can actually sneakily grab that creep multiplier there. Looks like I did. Don't know if we're gonna keep it, but Now this pretty much is just what's that game called? Power Wash Simulator. Let's be real. Climbing the mountain. There you are. I knew there was something out here that was producing. You over there. Mine now. A stash will build up with Creeper and then release it all at once, which produces natural waves. So it's sort of like a wave pool source. Yeah, it is. And then, as a reminder, this is a community-made custom map. Looks like using the mortar to cut directly through the waves like that is a good method of clearing stuff. And after you chop the wave, clean it up with the gun. Go over here. Went ahead and doubled game speed, which I probably should have done quite a while ago. But, whatever. This will be one more of those vibey kind of streams at the end here. Almost got him. And just like that. Wow. That's the path our FPS adventure took us down. Oh, and there's a weapon upgrade at the very start that I missed. Great. That might explain why that felt like it was going pretty slow at certain points. In any case, though, that was quite the... I'll just let this one play so you can see what this one looks like. This one was a favorite of mine. It released pretty early on. It is called The Wave. There is this colossal amount of creeper that's right there. And then more creeper multiplier up ahead. And then more and more and more. And so you just need to build up as fast as physically possible. Get anti-creep onto these yellow nets as quickly as possible. Block off and coat as many of these blue nets as possible before the flood arrives. Kind of an awesome experience to just trying to desperately cut a hole in this massive, massive, massive amount of creeper. In any case, though, that is the colonies menu. And then, of course, there's the editor itself. Each time you beat a level, it does save a gameplay recording that can be replayed, so you can view your actions. And yeah, I think that will do it for today's Monday grab bag of Creeper World. Wow, we went a long time this time. Yeah, I completely lost track of time while playing this. As usual, thank you so much for joining me, for everyone who's still here. And let's see who we can raid on over to, shall we? Thank you, Solanum. Thank you, Kippers. Thank you, Conley. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. Who do we got here? Oh, Eula Caster playing Demon Turf. That is a cute art style game with a focus on platforming that I quite enjoyed. I didn't get all that far in it, admittedly, but it is the first game made by the people who are now working on Bubsy 4D. So, if you would like to see a schmovement platformer with nothing but 2D character sprites in a 3D environment, go ahead and follow the raid. Until next time, friends.